So BTC on the yearly time frame, we need to mark our highs, our lows, and then our structural break areas. So this definitely is our all-time high, which will also act as a potential resistance area. And as we study price now, it is actually at that resistance area. So there will be a possibility for a bearish. And then if price sells, could sell all the way up to this structural break. Okay. And then when we come below here, we also see another strong structural break here. Okay, so this was a break, retested, support, price pullback, another break, possible retest here to continue. So for the long perspective, possibly this is the move we want to see. This is for the swingers and position trade traders. But then now for intraday, there's more we need to do. And that more we can only do it on a lower time frame. So we have to move to a time frame lower. So in that case, we come to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, you see price here at this resistance area, and then again mark this as your all-time high. And remember, this is the area where we want to take a swing position for position traders. When we pull back into this area, and then we can head back like what has been happening here. Then now, the next thing we need to do is to study price along this region. But just to give you a good example on how you could actually trade this without any difficulties, each time you see a strong break that breaks a previous higher low, like that, you mark it. That becomes your potential support in case price retested. Like this, we also had another strong break, and then we had all this push to break this other high. And that's why we had this area being retested. Then now, for you to study price more, you need to come to a lower time frame, which will be the next lower time frame from the time frame you are in. In that case, that becomes the weekly. So on the weekly, you will see this break here. This strong candle here is actually what was being retested here. So you had this break, and then it was retested here for the first time, second time, and then the third time. However, now here, remember, this is our all-time high, which will be our resistance area. And we had a strong candle break, this candle here. So if we were to mark the high of this weekly candle up to this area here, which is our resistance, that is an area in which we'll begin to look for selling opportunities. But then it is difficult to sell from these weekly time frames here because you don't get a clear entry. Then for that case, we need to mark our lows. So this is one of the weekly lows here. So once we have this clearly, we can now come to another lower time frame. Remember now, our focus is majorly here on this resistance, how it is going to hold price, and then gives us a confirmation candle for us to be able to sell. So once you have this, you begin to also mark your structures. Okay, the same thing, you had this high here, it was broken, and then we had another high here, which was also broken. These are potential areas for partial profit taking because these are areas in which price is going to react from. So once you have these areas here, you can continue to come to your lower time frame. Okay, whatever lower time frame you come to, you just need to now know this is the resistance and what we will be looking for here. So when do we get to actually trade and enter positions? We get to enter positions when we see another resistance here, like we have the market. The market does this and then comes into this area, creates for you a pattern, which can either be a resistance, a head and shoulder, or a double top, triple top, any of these. So the moment you see a pattern here, that is when you can begin to look for trades. Okay, but then to actually have more clarity, you can always go to lower time frames and scale lower and lower for you to be able to get a better trade. So now this is the 1 hour and this is how it looks. So let me just come all the way to the lowest time frame possible, which is the 15 minutes. So on the 15 minutes, we're beginning to have a clear picture of what the market could actually do. And that picture is from here, we see a high, and then we see a formation of a new lower low here because we had actually trend down because it is beginning to form low. So the next thing we need to see is if it pulls back into this area, we get either a double top, a structural break, serious bearish engulfing, then we can target all the way to these lows here. Remember, these are areas in which you will begin to take profit. We target this, and then with a better break, can begin to target like that, then head down. So this is what we have on Bitcoin. Analyze it all the way up to the 15 minutes. You just need to look for how you can take trades. And then be also open-minded, because this is trading. Anything can happen. And by anything, I mean, if the market is able to completely break this and then does that, then we can be looking for the next area of trading would be up here. So that is how open-minded you need to be. But for now, this is all we are zeroing it, and we want to trade from here. So